Can hear you now.
Yes.
And the final
Jolly
check.
good.
Ben, how you doing, buddy?
Very good, thank you. How was everyone doing?
Not too bad at all. You're not going to grace us with a webcam for the luscious, sexy lead man of...
No, sorry, not. I'm gonna have to disappoint you today. Webcam's not even set up.
It's actually funny. Earlier in the stream, I think it was Sequential said something that I'm prone to having these stupid ideas that I think are really fucking great. And then my son, who's more grounded in reality, says to me, "No, Dad, please don't do that." I had an idea of, we're doing, as you guys all know, we're doing the fundraiser for Moonshine right now, raising to get him a laptop to replace his 10-year-old gaming one. And it keeps on prompting me to do a thank you message to people. And I had this idea, and I told the missus about it, and she thought it was the best fucking thing ever. And the idea was going to be, we've got a GoPro somewhere. I can't fucking find the thing at the moment because I'm a boomer and I forget where I put my keys 5 seconds after I put them down. But the camera was going to go into the bathroom, and I was going to be laying in the bath with lots and lots of bubbles and a rubber ducky and things like that. And, you know, be basically naked, but obviously I'd wear underwear, but you just wouldn't be able to see that underneath all the bubbles and that. And turn and, oh, hello there. Oh, you've caught me rather, you know, whatever, yada, yada. And basically the concept was going to be that as a special thank you to everyone who has donated to the Moonshine fundraiser, I'm going to be sending every one of you an exclusive fundraiser only Boydie bath water.
Oh, wow.
Is it possible to get a refund on my donation?
My son kind of said to me, "Dad, I know you think this is a great idea, but one day I wouldn't mind having a career in politics or in government. And the last thing I want is people doing a background check on my family and coming across this video of my dad in a bathtub using a ladle and pouring fucking bath water." And I was like, fucking god damn it. To me, it was a great idea. But he also said to me, it is a very serious thing that we're raising money for. So it probably wouldn't have been the best thing. But I was sitting there. I was actually quite disappointed that I wasn't able to do it for everyone. But yeah, I thought it would have been fucking hilarious. But
Boy, he's trying to become the next Belle Delphine.
I will admit it was a bit inspired by that and the fact that you have gamer bath water as a drinkable item on the blue waffle service.
Oh, you know, you've got to stay hydrated.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Does it randomly make you sick when you drink it?
No, but we should do that. I really think
you should.
Do that.
You should.
Oh, sorry, my phone.
You really should.
Selling point.
Guys, how's your week been?
It's been something.
This one's aimed more at you, Ben, and Jacob.
Okay.
It's been great.
Mine's been a little bit stressful. All right.
How's the 1.08 and all the mods starting to come together now? Was it that bad of a patch? Was it just what caused all these mods to break down?
Go on, Jacob.
Well, good question. I knew this was going to be a question. I didn't prepare for it. I'll just say like a lot of different mods having different types of updates. So yeah, expansion mod like had a couple new features that like just ended up breaking, and all these other mods like landed an update for 108, and they just weren't tested properly.
Because it just seems like this one's been so much worse than previous updates that have dropped on us. Would you agree, Brim?
Yeah, I think it's a bit of a weird one, isn't it? Where it's kind of the same thing happens almost every time we get a new update for DayZ, where it just completely buggers every mod up, and then you've got about a week or so, sometimes more, where you've got no usable mods, and it just creates absolute mayhem. And I'm not a modder or anything like that, so I have no idea what goes into the background of sorting that. But I just think there's got to be some information from Bohemia's side that can shed light on why every time they put out a new update, considering they're the ones that make modding possible on the game in the first place, why their updates suddenly just destroy what seems to, seemingly destroys for a short amount of time what seems to help keep the game alive for quite a lot of people.
What causes it, like, to have been so bad? Like, I know you sort of touched on it, but so I did get a comment from someone that there was a test patch or something that was able to be worked with, but it just seems like it was just so much worse though than anything we've experienced in the past. Which is there steps being taken to make sure it doesn't happen again, Jacob?
I wouldn't know about steps being taken, but what I do know is that there were about 6 different mods that all had an update that broke the game. Community online tools was one of them. Expansion had its own issues. VPP has its own issue right now. And
your little bird of the one before.
But yeah, I thought there was an issue with community online tools where it was just causing a respawn and crash. But Bohemia also marked it as an issue with vanilla, so I wasn't sure if it was community online tools or vanilla. But then they said it was fixed in vanilla, so ended up in community online tools as well.
One thing that's a problem, and a lot of people don't think about, is that even when experimental updates get put out and modders prepare for that and they try and make fixes and everything, there's only so much testing you can do on your own, and there's nothing like testing. There's no testing like getting it out onto a full server. So a lot of modders are very limited in what they can do. They can make fixes and they can do limited testing, but they don't really get a proper test until it's out there.
Because I just wonder, Val, and I don't know whether you think the same, but I really think that it's in DayZ or in Bohemia Interactive's best interest to work closer with the modders to try to make sure that this doesn't happen again, because it's not a good look for the game. When the majority of people, from what I can tell on PC, are playing modded servers. Now, from what I understand, it wasn't so bad on vanilla and on console, but for the PC side, it's just not a good look to have the game, with such a legacy of DayZ being broken, DayZ being broken, DayZ being broken. Yeah, it's such a meme these days to say that. But Val, what are your thoughts on that?
I agree, but then at the same time, I think they're in a tough place, aren't they, where they're being pulled from all sides. I think that if they dedicated extra time to work with modders, which I probably think should do, but then you'd have the console community saying, well, why are you neglecting us? You'd get people that only play vanilla saying that certain aspects of the vanilla game have been ignored. So although I agree, I think they're in a tough place, aren't they, as always, in sort of within the community where they're being pulled from all sides by different people. So I don't envy them.
No. And Jacob, when I interviewed you guys for the Spotlight interview, you said the dev team did work closely with you. Could they do more?
Really the only thing they can do is when they know it's a certain mod crashing their game, they should let the modders know, but that's about it. Other than that, they work closely with everyone. Yep. If you ask them a question, they'll answer. That type of thing. But yeah.
Yep.
It's just when they have their own findings about a certain mod crashing it, they should just let the mod creator know.
Because you guys have taken a bit of a hit. There's been a couple of videos. One of the guys who made one is in chat marks, but the big one was the Minder video, basically saying that expansion mod is not polished. What did you guys think when that dropped?
Oh, okay.
I kind of agree with it.
I'll speak up on this. So at the moment, it feels like suddenly a lot of the modders are taking all the responsibility now. So if you go back to the days where there was patches coming out from DayZ that were broken for weeks and weeks and weeks.
Yep.
And you'd see loads of people, there's too many that I can name, right? But you'll see loads of people absolutely blowing wind up the devs and saying, yeah, the dev team are great, give them time to fix things. Being really patient with the dev team, yeah? and then now it seems like the modding community started doing a lot of things for the game, and that same patience has just gone out the window. Like, so expansion had a problem the other week after the update, and like within days, people are screaming and making videos and uninstalling it. Like, where nobody, where's the patience that was given to the devs like back then? It takes time to fix things. The people weren't screaming at the devs, fix this shit now or it's broken or whatever after 3 days. And yet the modding community seems to get absolute, as soon as a mod's broken, inboxes implode because the amount of messages that they get, And it's like, I just feel like nowadays that all the modding community are getting all the crap that like the DayZ devs used to get, basically, for some people. And then others who used to completely defend the devs have got no patience with the modders. I don't think it's right.
See, I was thinking about it today, and I came up with an analogy, and I remember this from when I spoke with you guys, again for the interview, Jacob, where you guys said the one thing that you're lacking is animations. And basically, you guys have created what is, and like I've finally gotten to have, yes, I did the interview with you guys, and you showed me everything and that, but I'm actually starting to get to play with it now in the Scuff server, Fubar Bundy's new server, and the argument of it not being polished because of animations is basically the equivalent of saying to someone, now I want you to make me a sandwich, and you've got 3 ingredients. You've got bread, you've got butter, and you've got shit. You have to use 3 different ingredients. What sandwich am I going to get? I'm going to get a fucking shit sandwich. Now, you guys made a mod. You couldn't make animations yourself. You had to rely on the animations that are there. Like one of the comments I heard, I think Minder said about with helicopters, and the animations not tying in with it. When you turn the helicopter, it turns like a steering wheel. Well, you couldn't make a custom animation. So what were you guys meant to do, Jacob?
Well, we couldn't make a custom animation, but like there was a method, but it was really janky and it wouldn't look that nice, so we just opted for what we have for now. But I want to touch on something that Ben was saying earlier about like people having respect for the dev team ages ago, but no longer now. Back then, there was 2,000 concurrent players, and now there's 20,000. So
Yeah,
going to
good
get
point.
a lot more negative.
Good point.
That's the way I see it.
Also, if the comment's going to be made that something shouldn't be put out because it's not polished, then none of us would be playing DayZ standalone right now, because that wouldn't be out, would it? There you go.
Yeah, that's a very, very good point. DayZ's been a long, long process. It's supposedly 1.0, but it's still, they say, in development. So, yeah.
How many beta games come out all the time, and they're not polished, but how they get polished is by being put out, and then people fix, report bugs. We all know the process. So
Me, I'm happy with it. I'm happy with the expansion mod. I'm happy with the other mods. Yes, there's some funny shit like the horse mod, when people get on the horse and they've got to start it up like a car, and it fucking makes a sound as you fucking start it up with the motor starting. And the same as the helicopters. Every time I get in the helicopter and I go to start it up, and it makes the starter motor. Mark's is saying in chat, I think there needs to be an easier way to report mods. That is something that I think is a very good point, because there's a lot of people blaming stuff on DayZ that is the fault of mods at the moment. I've seen a lot of comments and had to correct people. Val, have you noticed that?
Yeah, of course. I think within the wider community, obviously, there's, for me, probably also, there's probably a lack of knowledge, obviously, what's causing a bug. So often it's easy to blame the game when it's a mod, or blame a mod when it's the game. I think plenty of people are not kind of in the know enough to make that differentiation, but it's not easy, is it? Sometimes, I think some people, not you, Marks, but some people, every update find a reason to moan a bit. And going back to the video you referred to before, I think it just, I don't know, it's not ideal and not helpful for the community as a whole sometimes.
I think it was a lot of people building up expectations, Brim, You know, I did the hype interview. Septic Falcon did hype stuff. Other people did. You know, there was content creators clambering all over the expansion mod server when it was in the testing phase, and all raving about it. And then it comes out, and 1.08 comes out and breaks it. I think that really hurt the expansion mod a bit. What do you think, Brim?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I was fortunate enough to be able to get on that testing server as well in the early phases prior to expansion's release. And prior to that, I hadn't played a huge amount of DayZ. Very, very rarely play vanilla, mostly play modded. And it is literally a case of, I think, like you say, everyone built it up. Everyone sort of built up and said, like, expansion's going to be the absolute be all and end all, the best thing ever. And I think it's definitely up there. Like, there's no doubting that the expansion mod is an absolutely phenomenal mod. And I agree, it is just a shame that the 1.08 update seems to have kind of taken away from that a little bit, and the buzz kind of died down a little bit quicker than it should have for something that's done what it's done for the community at this point.
Yeah, Marx has just elaborated in chat there. He said, like, it's so stupid having to go to a website to report a mod, and the website is also confusing, and I don't complain every update that comes out because I understand it, but having the hype there, like Boydie just said, and then nothing happens and it breaks, it's kind of annoying. And it is. At the end of the day, people just want to be able to play the game, Jacob. And for, almost a week and a half, 2 weeks, most of the modded servers have been suffering. Like DDU only just seems to be going back to a sense of normalcy. The code lock mod, I mentioned it last week. It really broke DayZ down under. We couldn't even split stacks of rags or nails, or you could only do it using a tent if you were lucky enough to have a tent to do it in. But it just made things. I did have to laugh at the irony, though, Jacob, that the console people look at us PCs players of our mods and all the rest of it with envy, and then 1.08 drops and console are still playing happily and merrily, and PC players are all really.
Oh, I wouldn't say happily, because they had issues when being near a base would cause client crashes.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, console.
Yeah, it was all over their Twitter that they released like 2 hotfixes or something like that.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, so it's not just us having issues.
It's not DayZ without bugs. It's not DayZ without bugs. So this tweet that the dev team put out, are they putting in animations for you guys now?
Are you talking about the release of the rig? Well, what they did is they fixed the animation tools. They fixed that with the last update, and then what they did is they released a rig so we can create animations. So now we can import animations, create animations, and play animations all in game. There's just the one small problem: you can't have 2 separate animations mods running at the same time.
What?
Yeah, that's an issue.
Can't have 2 animation mods running at the same time.
Yep. So if the expansion was to have animations, and then say DayZ Battle Royale was to have their own animations, both mods can't run at the same time.
Wow, that's going to make it difficult.
It would, but it's fine for expansion. Everything's all just one mod there, but for other mods, and for say for Dinos's horse mod, it would be a little bit difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they can't fix that? There's not something they can fix easily?
Easily? Well, they can hack it in. But, don't know. I have an idea on how they could fix it, but I don't know if it's feasible or not. I've not seen the source code for the game.
So that's a bit disappointing, because I was actually going to say I'd love it if you guys broke apart some of your mods so that it could be used, but I understand why you've got it all as one now.
That was one of the reasons, yeah.
Did you guys know that was going to happen?
We've known about that for about 6 months.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that would have been a big factor in you guys deciding to have all of the expansion stuff in one.
Not really.
No?
No. The expansion mod was always going to be released as one mod. Yeah. That was always the plan. But then, due to licensing, they had to split it into a licensed mod and a separate mod. So one of them can actually be re-uploaded, but the main mod with all the scripts can't be. Yeah.
I'm confused. What do you mean by that?
So the mod is split into two.
Yep.
One of it can be re-uploaded because of licensing and all that legal stuff. The other one can't be. And yeah, because of our of how Bohemia enforces some stuff.
Ah, okay.
That's all. Yeah. Because not all the models are ours. Yeah.
One other thing, and I'm glad we've got Steve in chat as well, that I was curious as to what Minder meant by it, but he mentioned the money that you guys have made in his video, which Ben, do you understand where he was coming from with that?
I don't think what it's any of his business, to be honest with you. Like, I mean, Expansion have been, very open and honest, with where the donation money's spent and what's done with it. So, and regarding what was it about? I think he said something about the models. The models aren't very good or something. I believe it was. It's DayZ's limited. Like, you can only use certain quality models, and you only use what's available, or you're limited. It was an annoying comment to me. Like, I don't think that was a fair comment.
Mobby's just said in chat, Minder's a loser. I don't agree with that. Minder is an incredibly talented content creator. He's very opinionated, and when I did the Spotlight interview with him, he said, that's a bit of a Dutch thing. But no, I don't think he's a loser. Far from it. I just think he went a bit too far on the expansion mod in his video. And with an audience like he's got, did he even reach out to you guys for comment on anything before he did that video?
I would say, no, well, he didn't reach out on comment, but some of the things he mentioned I do agree with, but yeah, he didn't reach out with comment. And he used some old footage from the early testing to complain about some bugs that were actually fixed in his video as well.
And that's where he should have reached out to you guys first. Done the video in conjunction. He's got a massive audience. I think he's 260,000 subs on YouTube, Brim, and it just, especially with everything that's been going on now with people talking about scripting and having to declare it. The least he could have done, I think, in this instance, was reach out to him. What do you reckon, Brim?
Yeah, I mean, I think I kind of have to be a little bit careful about what I say and how I say it, because I think in the last few weeks I've come across as someone who probably just shits all over Minder at the first opportunity, and I don't want that to seem like it's the case, because it's not. I do agree with what you said a minute ago, Boydie, that Minder is a phenomenal DayZ content creator. But I think, like you say, the fact that he went back and got old footage of bugs that had then been fixed and include that, and it's almost like he couldn't be asked to do the research. If it would have taken him 5 minutes tops to send a message to Jacob or Thurston or one of the other guys and say, look, I'm making this video. Here's the information I've got. Is this accurate and up to date? How can we get this right? It wouldn't have taken any extra time, and yet every single week I come on this podcast and it seems like I say shit about Minder, because he's seemingly, his name comes up over and over and over again in being very opinionated, sometimes in quite a negative and toxic way, on whatever the flavor of the month is, whatever the controversy or the story is. And like you say, he's got 216,000 subscribers on YouTube at the moment. He's one of the biggest DayZ content creators, and I think he needs to, as much respect as I have for the guy, I think he needs to do better, because at this point, I'm kind of getting sick of sitting here and chatting shit about him every week. I want to be able to come on here and say, this week Minder put out a video about this subject. It was really good. He was very concise. He was very fair. Awesome. But it's a shame that I just don't see that happening anytime soon.
Well, we've hopefully got Minder and the Karma Crew guys coming on the show next week. Fingers crossed. So I kind of scheduled it this way. I wanted to talk about this because I love the guy. Got a lot of time and respect for him. But I do think, personally, he dropped the ball on that video. He went in hard, and if he just reached out to you guys to clarify some points, he could have made a much better video that, as you're admitting, Jacob, there are issues. But it could have been a lot better if it had been done, with input from you guys.
Yeah, like at least like some of the things that were fixed could have like just not been in there, but
Yeah.
the rest of it, I would say like I'll play whatever. Just don't put in what's not relevant anymore.
Yeah. But this is DayZ, and since when do people not talk about things that aren't relevant anymore? How many times do you see comments about broken bones and dying on steps and all the rest of it? I talk about it every now and then as a laugh from days gone by, but we're well. Although I do kind of worry. We know that they have said that they're going to bring broken bones back. I reckon Sumrak must have nightmares over the thought of they release broken bones and then people start dying on doorsteps again. That would be funny.
Yeah,
it would be
them
fucking
days.
funny. You remember it well, Ben.
Yeah. Walking through a doorway equals death.
All those
Well,
barns.
There's death.
You'd fall off one of those barns that have got the ladder inside, and you'd die from a fucking 6-foot drop. What the fuck, man? Come on.
I used to wait. I used to love the way it would spam all the messages at the side of the screen as well. Like, your leg's broken, your arm's broken, you're broken.
Yes.
You're just broken.
Yeah.
I've died while walking up a hill once.
You were lucky if you died. If you just broke your legs and you were refreshing and you didn't have access to a knife to get sticks and a rag, you'd fucking crawl for ages, or just leave your computer running until you died.
Oh well, back then just search the ground for rocks. That was the first thing you do when you spawn in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now-
Speaking of, you were saying broken bones,
Yes.
the nightmares. Well, if they just leave the same fall damage code in they have right now, then they wouldn't have any issues.
Yeah. Now, that's Lucas just said in chat there. Why is there no fall damage in the expansion mod at the moment?
Good question. Well, I haven't actually had time to check it because I was fixing up the pot. But best guess, it's to do with the reason why the end animation also isn't working when you're falling. So it's just a static frame when you're falling,
Yep.
and it never resolves the animation, so it just never calculates that, oh, you landed. That
But-
would probably be it.
Because it's frustrating the crap out of me. I dropped a video this week and everyone's getting sick of hearing about it, but I managed to kill a few guys up at Tizzy and steal their helicopter. And every time I go back to Tizzy, when I hear a helicopter, I get excited that I might be able to do it again. But now people are just flying over the top, and you just see people plummeting out of the helicopter, running to the trader, and they pick them up 2 kilometres away. It's impossible to find the idiots who are prepared to go and drop their chopper right at the thing. So I'm hoping that gets fixed soon. Is there any fix for it coming?
Hopefully I have time tomorrow and I'll attempt to fix for it, because I believe I know the issue, so yeah.
Awesome. No pressure. Just my entire YouTube career depending on it.
To be fair, it's a fucking hilarious bug, because it's making for some fantastic content. Like Lax Hawthorne was doing a stream the other day, and he used it to his advantage. I mean, it didn't work out to his advantage in the end because he got shot straight in the face the second he landed. But flying over someone's base and just jumping out,
Yep.
landing in their courtyard like some sort of fucking superhero landing. It makes for some hilarious stuff, and I think that's, as serious as it is to have a bug like that to a degree, I think it can be a positive thing in a way as well. You can make a good thing out of a shit situation, and I think that is a perfect example of
How many
a bug
funny
that wasn't
videos have there
intended.
been made from people exploiting bugs and the stretched arms and the meatball pose and things like that? There's been so many funny clips from the inadvertent bugs that sometimes creep up in DayZ, but it's good to know there is a fix coming for it, because as funny as it is, it annoys the shit out of me.
Yeah, I just want to mention one thing.
Yes.
When it is fixed, should we leave it out of the patch notes?
Yes, 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 yes. Please do. Oh my God, please do. That would be. I just pictured all these guys flying over, and I'm gonna jump out and what the hell? I'm dead. Oh, that is the ultimate troll, Jacob. I love you so much for saying that. That is gold. That is fucking gold. Just put a note in there, and we've made one very special change that you should work out eventually.
Work it out on your own, like the rest of us have.
I think, yeah, chat's agreeing with it. Dewan likes it. Marx is saying, please do it. Chris FPS is saying that would be awesome. Like, yeah, I think the geez, mate, we've got 27 people in here and no one has said no. I think that's enough people for you to base your evidence off of.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yep, done deal. That's gold.
Yeah, Lieutenant Master will still probably just put it in the notes without me knowing.
Just make sure you turn off your fucking DMs when you do it, though, because you just know there's going to be some very angry people messaging you like, "Why did I splat?"
It won't be the expansion mod that get the messages. It'll be the server owners, the poor server owners. I demand to be reimbursed because I just lost all my gear.
I know I'm going to get so many compensation claims for that.
But is it worth it, Ben? Is it worth it?
Oh, it's got to happen. Got to happen. I can't wait to watch. I can't wait to watch it all happen.
Even if you send a DM out to our server owners, I don't know if you can do that when you do the patch notes. Server owners.
I could put it inside the private Discord for the bunch of server owners.
Yeah. Put it in there, and then it's up to them whether they tell people or whether they just log on in camera McGod mode and just sit there waiting to watch people plummet to their death from tops of buildings. And that's awesome. I'm gonna
record it.
That's awesome. That'd make a great video. That would make such a good video. Oh, that's fucking awesome. Absolutely awesome. Okay. Takistan. We now have the map Takistan. Does anyone know much about it?
It's a map. That's about it.
That's pretty much the length of my knowledge at this point as well.
Pretty bare map.
Yeah, looking at the pictures on the workshop on Steam, it looks like there's pretty much naff all on it at this point. But it does say if you go onto the workshop on Steam in the actual description of it and everything, it does say that it's not using very many DayZ assets, but they are adding a bunch in the next couple of weeks once they've got everything working and everything's running smoothly. So it's going to obviously it's a work in progress and going to get better and better as we go along by the looks of things.
We also have Armour 2 Old School Churnerous Isles.
Yeah, I've seen
yeah.
it. Then that's
Seen
quite that works nicely.
See, again, not having played the game much before standalone, I'm not familiar with all of these old maps. So, yeah.
I don't even think the old generous map's allowed to be used, is it, at the moment? Or
It is.
Is it? Okay. Did they have permission then, did they?
The old journalist map for Armour 2, yeah.
Yeah, oh, okay.
It's released in the samples. It's been ported over to Armour 3 as well. Don't know if it's been ported into DayZ standalone yet, but yeah.
It's under ADPL-SA license, whatever that is.
Meaning it could be re-uploaded onto the workshop for us.
Hang on, Camino's just saying it's made by the same people who DDoS community servers.
I don't understand what it means by that.
I do. I think Ben does too.
Well, I don't know. Find out.
No comments. He dropped a hand grenade and he's not going to back it up with more info for us. Come on, Camino. Oh.
Oh, okay. Right.
But apparently,
I'm not,
so
I'm
are
not
they?
saying. He's not saying, so I'm not saying.
Oh, Camino said he will. You're welcome to jump in, mate.
Just some dead air.
No, we're waiting. I'm watching the chat. Camino started it now.
I don't even know the map. Let me go search on Workshop.
Yeah, there was a server up with the map on for a while. I don't know if it's still up or not.
Yeah, I did see there was an Armour 2 Chernarus one on the DayZ.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure a few streamers and that were going on there.
Yeah,
it was up when I last looked. Yeah.
Yeah, was it Joito? I can't remember
Joito,
the. Yeah, I think that they put on something on Twitter about it the other day. I think we mentioned it last week on the podcast, saying that it was available.
Steam down for you guys?
I don't know. I'm not logged into Steam. No.
I can't load it right now.
Camino's thrown a name into chat there.
Dylan equals creator of Armour 2 Chernarus.
So
DayZ
looking
Purge
at
is made by the guy who is DDoSing the servers. Hey everyone, I'm an old BMRF player. Before their service died, and I saw an interesting video posted by a YouTuber named Brims that I watched regularly. It was about a new mod called DayZ Purge. I watched the video. I realised that Purge basically the same thing as Day Zero. Now that is a terrible, I guess. Maybe the dev is a fan that wants to continue Day Zero with his own reboot since it has been dying for a while. And I scrolled down to the comments section. A guy named The Official Jack was claiming in the comments section that the guy who made DayZ Purge was also the one responsible for a large amount of the hacking of the zombies.nu and BMRF Day Zero servers, and was also solely responsible for the DDoSing of the zombies.nu servers. Apparently he got banned a while back and was pretty angry about it, so he started hacking in an attempt to destroy the community of BMRF and Day Zero. If these accusations are true, don't go on DayZ Purge. It is this guy's way of sucking all of Day Zero's remaining players away. I have no way of verifying whether or not the official Jack is telling the truth, so take all his words here with a grain of salt. And he's got a video link here. Oh God, didn't want that.
I shan't be messing with that map anyway.
Well, looking at the standalone launcher, there are 7 different servers all running the Armour 2 Chernarus public release map, including a DayZ Usonia server as well, because I think they've recently made somewhat of a comeback into the modded community. So it'll be interesting to see how that all pans out.
So are you referring to DayZ Purge? I don't know how many people are involved in making that mod. If there's some legitimate developers that are helping out making another nice Armour 2 DayZ mod in the form of DayZ Purge, then that's great. But the creator admin who calls himself Dylan Green did DDoS our servers, and we banned well over 40 unique GUIDs that he used here. In fact, the last time he got banned from here was 1840 CET earlier today. I saw a post on Reddit where he claimed to have changed, but obviously not. This is from... When is this comment from? 2015. This might sound quite harsh. Sorry, he's a cheater, scammer, and a thief. This might sound quite harsh, but with a few simple Google searches on his alias, you should be able to easily connect the dots yourself. I don't know who that YouTube user, the official Jack, is, but what he's saying is true. I would be very careful about downloading and running any files from this site. That's just a friendly warning to anybody who feels like they might want to try his mod out. Edit. Some people from Day Zero reported that a person representative from DayZ Purge randomly added them on Steam and basically asked them to play it. When confronted about Dylan, this person said Dylan was removed from staff. The funny thing is that the Steam account clearly belongs to Dylan. Just to clear things up, we banned a lot of people from Day Zero, and Dylan was merely one of them. Nothing special. He seems to think it was personal, but it really was not. We cheated and we banned him. Since then, he's continuously tried making new accounts, and now he's decided to make it sound as if it's just Day Zero admins talking shit. Well, I'll tell you who he is with some links, and you decide for yourself. He is known to DDoS various communities and servers, actively stealing CD keys on YouTube with malware advertised as working cheats, offering the stolen art. Jesus. He's got a lot of references there. Damn. What do you guys think?
I think if it's true, it's definitely different, isn't it? It's definitely something that needs to be. Looks like it might need to be avoided at all costs if that's happening. I think Camino's put a thing there as well. If you open the workshop at Chinaris, you can see you created it. Click on that Steam link, and it does say that it is by this fella. It is by Dylan.
The one is saying, who cares? The content is not his. They simply have decided to spend the time to rework it for DayZ standalone. I'm very confused by it all. Talking about a lot of technical stuff that I don't fully understand, but I do understand DDoSing and selling cheats and all the rest of it. So Ben, you won't be doing it.
No, I mean, I definitely won't be. Definitely won't be doing it now. But I had no intention of running a server with that map anyway. I mean, it's great for nostalgia and all that, but it's greatly underdeveloped compared to the Generous Plus that we're running now. It clearly, if there's only 7 servers up and they're all empty, according to somebody in chat there, then it'll be just a server where people go on for nostalgia, they play for a little bit, and then they go. I don't think people will spend the time to populate it and use it like they would a normal server.
Yeah, it seems to be much the same for the Takistan ones as well. Looking on the launcher, they've got about 12 different servers running the Takistan map, and at the moment only one of them is populated in any way, and it's got like 5 people on it. All the others are one player or completely empty. So, but like I say, judging by what it shows on the Steam Workshop for the Takistan one, it is looking pretty bare, but looks like it's going to be getting upgraded soon anyway. So that one might be worth keeping an eye on.
The one is saying he's checked out the mod and its content is not malicious at all. So the guy who was behind 420 is saying it's all okay, fellas. Let's trust him. I couldn't resist the one. I couldn't resist, mate. How did you get those files on DayZ again, mate? You never told us that, did he, Ben?
No, I know nothing.
No, you kept quiet about that. The emotes he's posting. Oh, fuck. Okay.
Oh, go on, sorry.
No, what were you going to say, Ben?
I was just going to say, I think that Takistan map will need a hell of a lot of development to make it something that people will play on. Like, a lot.
Yeah, that's you say that, and my young fella said to me that there'll be large sections of the map that no one will just bother going to because there's nothing in them.
Yeah, I mean, that photo you've got there, right there on your screen, for example, I mean, there's just hills. You can't, look at that. It's just so bare. How would you even, like, PvP? You can't, or anything. You can't see people miles away. There's hardly any cover, and yeah, it just looks like you'd have to do a lot of work to it to make it something that people will spend a lot of time on. It's traveling around the map.
It's like it's made for a military simulator.
Yeah, I mean, traveling between towns and everything is part of the game, isn't it? The traveling.
Yes.
In that, where are you going to travel? Like just wandering across open plains. I'm not bashing it. I just think that it just needs a hell of a lot doing to it to make it usable in standalone now for anything.
It'll probably run smoothly, as smooth as all fuck though, because there's fuck all shit to render in.
Great FPS out of it.
Yeah, even Moonshine on his 10-year-old gaming laptop will be getting 100 FPS.
Come on, just say it's shit. Well, it is a bit shit, yeah. Basically, it's a bit shit for standalone.
The one's arms must be getting tired every week with all that fucking stirring he keeps doing.
Oh, he loves it.
He does, and I love him for it. Like I said earlier, I love everyone who comes into this chat. It's as well as you guys in here with us, but it's the people in chat who give this podcast its special vibe. So I really fucking love it. Now, I did a poll on Twitter carrying on from, we touched on it briefly before with the scripting videos. It had 255 votes, so not a massive swath of people, but it was talking about the scripting issue with Anarchy and Erno calling him out for it. And I asked people, what is your opinion? Please share it to get as many votes. No cheating, just scripting and interaction for entertainment purposes. So 21.6% said disclose in the description. 35% said disclose at the start of the video. 10% said no disclosure required. And 32% said stop the drama. So I kind of put that combined with no disclosure required as being nearly half. About 40% of people don't care. They just...
I was in that.
You said stop the drama?
Yeah, me
I
too.
was in that category. Just drop the drama. Everyone should just stop sticking the nose in other people's and worry about their own.
That's what I voted for in the poll. Yeah.
Yeah, it's honestly how I feel. No one was hurt. Who gives a fuck? And we alluded to it last week, Val, that I think a lot of it is coming down to money.
Yeah,
I think it probably. Oh, sorry. I think it probably is, and you always get, like I said last week, and I don't want to sort of repeat it, but I am doing. You always get the same people sticking the boot in. I think they just need to fucking grow up, and whatever issues or jealousy or childlike issues you've got with other people, it shouldn't be done in the way it is on Twitter and so publicly. And it seems that so many people just try and crucify other people for very, very minor things or things that they may or may not have been involved in themselves in the past. I'm not talking about Erno, by the way, but just so some of the people on the post, sometimes it just becomes really toxic. That's why I said stop the drama. I think everyone just has to grow up and shut up.
It sort of touches on something, Ben, that I got a smack on the wrist for one of the guys behind DayZ Down Under, because I shared my scuffed video, and in the title I put in there scuffed server gameplay, and I got a message saying they deleted it because it wasn't relevant to their server, and I got a bit salty, and I basically said it's really sad that there's so much adversity starting to... I don't know whether it's just starting or whether I'm just starting to become aware of it, but I've probably been involved in it myself in the past. But there's so much us against you and them against them, and that's starting to pop up in the DayZ community. Does anyone else feel like it's that, Ben? Do you notice it? Because you've got your community, mate. How do you get along with other communities in the EU area and that?
Well, I like to think I get along with most communities. I speak to most of the owners, or I have spoken to most of the owners of all the popular servers. I mean, obviously things will get said in private, and we'll never hear that stuff. But I publicly don't bash servers. I don't think it's a good idea, or bashing other communities.
Chris has said in chat very well, for example, server wars. What's server wars?
Server wars? I don't know exactly what he means by that. I'm sure he can explain. But yeah, I don't know. It has got a bit toxic lately. I don't like seeing it personally.
No.
It's like, so for instance, with these videos and the scripting thing, I think one of the arguments that came from Minder and a few people was that it affects the game negatively by portraying it in a false way or whatever. And I thought about it, and I thought, really though, does it? Who sits there and watches a video of DayZ, and then they find out a little bit of it was scripted, and they go, oh no, I'm not playing that game now, actually.
Look at the hate Milo got for his exploding vest. I was kind of impressed with him. The bullet shot to make a entertainment video. Yes, there's still the argument of the cheating and all the rest of it, but I've really got no issue with someone if they can come up with something like that and make it look like it was real. Fucking kudos to them, in my opinion. That's just quality editing, quality content creation.
Yeah,
I have.
Go on, mate.
Okay. I have no problem with the way Anarchy did it, but like, if you're going to like hack on a live server with other people on there,
Yes.
just don't do that.
Yeah, that
Don't-
is
different.
totally wrong.
Yeah. Yeah. It doesn't matter how good you're editing it. Just don't hack on a live server where other people script your content. Like, play as if it's scripted. It's not going to affect others, but if you're going to hack, it's going to affect others.
So what Chris has expanded, he said it was an event you guys had, communities against others, wasn't toxic and was friendly.
Oh right, no, yeah, exactly, yeah. There was, it's not happened for a while, yeah, but there was a little sort of event series that we did with a few other servers, Resistance. Off the top of my head, I can't remember the names of the other ones. Not being rude to him, but yeah, it was all friendly. It was good.
But even look back to the Ashes that you and I and Mick and Norrie came up with, mate. Yeah, you guys had UKA and who was the other mob? Or was it just UKA and BWAF?
It was just UKA. Yeah, when we did the Ashes, it was just us and UKA.
Yeah. And we invited people from other communities here in Australia, Pipsy guys and so on, and we had the Aussie Convicts guys as well. And it was a friendly, with a bit of rivalry there, little fucking Aussies and Poms. Of course, there's going to be rivalry, but it was in good spirit, and it really feels like that's missing a lot lately, Val. The community spirit of DayZ is it's starting to get. There's servers popping up everywhere, and I know people are competing for players. I saw a comment in the Facebook group the other day. It seems like every second post is, come play my new server, 100 pop, crazy guns, all the rest of it. And touching back onto the stuff with old mate before, there's no one ever comes out with anything concrete for us to talk about properly. Camino's the first one to do it, actually, so kudos to you, mate. But it seems like, is there underhanded shit happening?
Probably, but I'm sure there probably is somewhere in at some time. But then, like I said, I don't really have an issue with like scripting videos at all. Actually, I think, as Jacob said and we said on the podcast about about Milo, was that the issue there was that it was allegedly, or it was anyway, hacking on a live server where people are unaware. But I'm sure that, I know you got crucified for saying this, Boydie, but I'm sure that there is other people out there that have done similar things. But frankly, I don't care.
Don't bring that tweet up again. Fuck's sakes, mate.
But frankly, I don't care. Like I said before, it's just for me. It's. I agree. It's becoming a bit more controversial and toxic sometimes, the community, and I just think that people need to, like I said, and I said last week and said before, just grow the fuck up and just be a bit nicer to one another. It's not hard. Come on.
You do you.
It's always
worry about what you do, and yeah.
I mean, I'll defend Anarchy for certainly for one of his videos. He used my test server to film it. I think he filmed one. I think it was literally one scene he filmed on my test server out of his whole video, so I can vouch for him on that one. Mm-hmm. And he did put a disclaimer or whatever. He put in it that it had been filmed on BWAF. Maybe somebody got the wrong idea and thought that was filmed on BWAF main server. I don't know, but I can tell you now it was not. It was on our test server, and the only reason he did that was because he wanted the full expansion mapping on and everything, and he wanted obviously a nice FPS. So I just let him use the test server, and he filmed one scene.
Filmed in offline mode.
yeah.
But I mean, disclaimers and all the rest of it are good, but at the same time, Brim, you're a wrestling fan, aren't you?
I am, for all my sins.
And when have they ever come out and said wrestling is fake?
Very, very, very rarely. I mean, I think we're all aware at this point that that it's scripted. It is what's known as worked content. You can't you script it, you get everything's planned to a degree, unless you're John Cena and you're an idiot and you like to do shit on the fly. But each to their own, I suppose. But it's just one of those things, like you say. If you're happy with your content, You know, there's no reason for you to be worrying about what other people are doing with their content. You gain nothing from going on Twitter or your stream or a YouTube video or whatever else, you know, calling someone else out for something they're doing when they're basically doing, albeit in a slightly different way, the exact same thing you're doing, and that's just making a video on a specific game the way you like it to entertain your fans. It's what we're all doing. You know, there's no reason to go out and start having a pop at people. Let people do what they want to do. You stick to what you want to do. As long as you're successful and you're happy with it, then bang. Otherwise,
if they're not cheating,
you know,
if they're not hurting other players,
exactly. And I think that's the thing where we've got to be people have got to be a little bit more careful with it as well, because I think a lot of people are going to see this drama with Anarchy and Erno and kind of jump to the wrong conclusion and think, oh, one or the other is doing some sort of hacking or something, and that's nowhere near the case. It is literally just a fact that one of them scripted a specific moment in a video. So, like I say, it's just fucking, it's daft, but it seems to be happening more and more at the moment, where people are just getting so toxic and arsey about the most insignificant thing, about the fact that someone hasn't put one little line of text as a disclaimer in a fucking description of a YouTube video. I think Mike said it best. People just need to grow the fuck up and get on with your own thing, and don't worry about everyone else.
Well, drama sells.
Sorry, what was that?
Yeah,
Drama sells.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Yes, it does.
And
we need to
just
get
one
back to
more
the
thing.
days of sex sells. That's what we need.
Oh, I should have done my tweet as a video. Fuck me.
Just one more thing.
Yes.
This whole scripting thing isn't a new discussion. It's been happening for like ever. It's like you got Frankie as well from like 2013.
We talked about that last week, that everyone is wetting their pants of excitement at Frankie coming back, and yet they're attacking Anarchy for doing exactly what Frankie did. I won't put Milo and Anarchy in the same category, because Milo did cheat. But Anarchy is a...
So is Frankie.
Yeah. Look, one day I'll get to interview that guy. That's my fucking dream, to interview him, and I'll ask him that. But I don't know if he did or he didn't. Has there ever been any definitive evidence that he did?
I've been told there was, but I don't know if there actually is.
Ben, have you seen anything?
I've never seen a definitive video of him cheating. No.
The bunny hopping. The bunny hopping is the only thing I'm aware of.
The bunny hopping bit. That was all like, if you look at all the, I think half the people, at least the big like YouTubers and that originally made videos about him saying he was cheating. If you go and look, they then made other videos retracting it and apologising. I know there was what's his name? I think his name's 2K like Philip or something like that. Who made a video about Frankie saying he was bunny hopping and it was cheating, and then he later found out that it was on his own server or whatever, and it wasn't. He'd done stuff with his mouse and all that, and he ended up putting an apology video out, and I think he gave Frankie like a donation of like $2,000 to a charity or something like that.
Yeah.
In terms of that one, I've seen that. As far as cheating in DayZ, I'll be honest, I've never
Armor
heard him
or
being
anything
accused
like
of
that.
cheating.
No, I've never
heard him being accused of cheating. Scripting, I've heard of him being accused, like, scripted content. But I mean, it's fairly obvious that some of it was, done that way, and I don't think people have ever had a problem with it. So
and that's pretty much what chat's saying.
All this stuff in the community right now, with all this like the toxicness and to do with the videos and everything else. Could you ever see Frankie returning and becoming part of this community, like being active on Twitter and being involved with other people?
I
couldn't. Not with the way it is now. I don't think he'll speak to anybody like that. Yeah. So
I don't blame him. Yeah, he's out and out. Well, not out and out, but he's basically said, I think I was in Sada stream and I was talking about doing an interview, and Frankie did type in there and said he'll never do one. And to be honest, I can't blame the bloke.
Yeah.
because there's many people that adore him. There's seems like there's just as many people who want to shit on him and bring him down. I was almost ready to move off from this topic, but there was another thing I wanted to add, and this is one of the things that kind of disappoints me. But there's almost this thing that if you're not an organic content creator, you're not as good as me.
Well, I think Frankie's a clear example of that's wrong, because look at Frankie's work, you know.
Yeah. It's sort of why, like, recently I've started playing, I mentioned it before, Fubar Bundy's new Scuff server, because I kind of thought to myself that I was becoming a bit of a snob, only playing hardcore servers, and even, you know, looking at these other servers and, you know, feeling sick, like, oh, God, how could you play that? And to my delight, I've actually started enjoying this server where I run around and I find fucking just guns everywhere, food everywhere. There's barely any challenge to the survival side of it, but you can still interact with people. It's just in a different format. And I think that's what some people need to do with their content creation. Yes, it's if you want to be a purely organic content creator, so be it. But don't shit on the people who are scripting stuff, because organic stuff, as hard as it is to get your hands on it, scripting a good, entertaining video, I personally, and I've never scripted myself, other than that thing that I did with Mick Ballistic for the Ashes, but I think it'd be harder. You know, you'd have to storyboard it and fucking get people there, and yeah, I imagine that'd be so much fucking hard work to do.
Well, I can give you something on that, actually, because Sadder yesterday was streaming, and he was telling a story of, in fact, it went that well, him telling these stories, that he's actually going to ask Frankie if Frankie will do a stream with Sadder where they watch an old video of Frankie's and they talk about all the work that had to go into making it, and like all the funny stuff that happened and everything.
That would be
just
good.
As an actual example, Sadder pulled up a video of Frankie's that was on Arc, and he was saying how there's a scene where Sadder jumps off of one dinosaur in the sky, falls through the air and lands on another one, and flies off on that one. And that scene was like 5 seconds or something long, and it took them 8 hours to capture it.
Wow.
So that's a bit of an insight into the work that goes into that kind of stuff at Frankie's level, anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely a million miles away from, you know, from anywhere near
Same.
Frankie's level. But, you know, I made a conscious effort to attempt to make some sort of scripted DayZ video over the last sort of month and a half, and like just on a server that I admin for, no one else on, just me alone, had an idea for a story, built a base that was going to be included in it. And I tell you what, fuck that. What a ball ache. I can only imagine. I mean, I've got a tiny little bit of imagination of how much effort it must take to make a video like Frankie used to make, and like a lot of people make nowadays, because I think I must have got maybe 8 hours into it, totally, into like starting to film stuff and get things ready. And I've just given up. I'm like, fuck that. I'll just figure something else out. It's so much effort that has to go into it when you're trying to. I think the difference with scripting and organic is that organic, it just happens, whereas scripting, you have to plan everything down to the finest detail imaginable. You know, you have to make sure people are stood in the right place, know what to do, know what to say. You know, if you're spawning in gear for a specific reason, you know, you have to make sure that's there, ready to go when you get to that place and do whatever you're doing there. There's so many things that can go wrong with it.
Well, even if you remember back to when we had Mike, Gav, and Blueberry on, and they were talking about when they used to do the videos with Mr. Blackout back in the day, and how much work would go into running around to make sure they found the same gear they were dressed in so that the story could continue. So, yeah, you know, you look at the legends of DayZ, and the majority of them did scripted videos. To some extent, you know, not all, but you know, some of it was organic, some of it was scripted, and as long as I enjoyed the video and there was no cheating involved that affected other people, Fucking go for it. Do your thing.
I'm looking forward to the return of Frankie and all the scripted content he can bring.
Yep. And it will be a massive boon to the game because provided that the game plays well, Frankie making videos on it and saying good things about it, you know, he's still got millions of subscribers. No one's even close to him who is a pure DayZ content creator. So yeah, Chris is saying he doesn't think he will return.
Yeah, I was just going to say, as it stands, I don't think he's any plans to do anything on standalone. He did come and play it. He did, as you know, he did come on my server and check it out, and he was complimenting a lot of expansion. But yeah, I don't think he's coming back to standalone at all. I think currently they're filming on they're calling it Armour 3 DayZ, so obviously somebody's got a server and sort of made it like DayZ. They've been filming a series on that, and then I think they've been doing Rust as well. And I don't think he's got any plans on doing anything for standalone. That's
sad. That's really fucking sad.
Yeah, it's a shame. I mean, I'm looking forward to his Armour 3 DayZ. I think a lot of it is just to do with he can't get the production. This is some of it that was said to me, was that he can't get the level of production that he wants on standalone. So, because he's planning on I think I might be wrong, but I think the plan is he wants to put out one video a week or something.
Yep.
So that's why they've already been filming a load, so he's got got a pile of videos ready for when he starts uploading again.
DayZ needs to take some money out of their marketing budget and pay the guy to fucking do some videos. It'd be the best thing that they could spend money on marketing wise, in my opinion.
They've done that before, not to Frankie specifically, but they've done that.
Yeah.
Well, they need to dig deep and fucking get Frankie to do a DayZ series. You know, fund it for him, do the mods that he wants and all the rest of it. If Thurston can't do them for him, but yeah.
As long as it ends up better than his Survive the Nights video did.
Yeah.
Wasn't it Minder who did?
Yeah, Minder did a paid thing with them, which never eventuated that I know of.
Yeah, would that be like scripted type of deal?
I don't know. I don't think we ever saw what it was.
Yeah, I just think there'd be some irony there, wouldn't there?
Oh, there would be. There fucking would be.
If they did a scripted video for him.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why we never saw it.
Yeah, could be.
Okay. DayZ BR taking beta access signups. Yes. So we have got DayZ Battle Royale, who we spoke to Keegan just the other week. You can now go to their website. I'll put the link in chat, and you can register for helping with the beta stage of it. So this should be interesting. No other information released, just a link to the website. Who's excited for it?
That'd be polished if he's putting it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Better not scripted either.
Oh well, he's basically, I think, chucked out all the old code that he had for the old DayZ Battle Royale.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm like reading the development chat because I'm kind of a developer I help with it, and yeah, seems like he's chucked out all the old code.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I should probably sign up and check it out. See if I can get on.
I'm excited for it. Something different.
I was when they did the DayZ one, I was really excited for that, but it didn't turn out as well as I expected. I hope this one's sort of learned from all the things that were disliked about the first one.
Survivor games.
Yeah. I know this is a different bit of a different kettle of fish, but still, yeah.
Well, if you want information about Survivor games, speak to a Lieutenant Master.
Oh, it was LTM on that team, was he?
He wasn't a developer, but like, he was a moderator for the Discord.
Very,
Oh,
very
right.
So
active. Very active.
he knows a lot about like the actual DLC.
Okay.
It's so sad that it went down, and the worst part is you log into the DayZ official launcher, and you still see Survivor games there on the panel, and it's just like, oh god, yes. Look what they
Could
did
have
to
gone.
my
So
beautiful
it could
boy.
have been so. Yeah, it could have been such a good thing. That could have been really good.
Should have been, but it just, yeah. And Brim Vigor coming to Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, I spotted that. That's going to be quite interesting. I mean, I don't personally have a Switch, but it's I think any time you can get a game on more platforms, whether it be console, handheld, whatever, I think it gets more eyes on the product. It can only, in theory, be a good thing as long as they don't completely cock it up. Because at the end of the day, people are going to go, oh, this Vigor game, this looks really good, I'll download that. And then they're going to look into other things and find lots of other stuff about it and find about DayZ and the Armour games and things like that. So it seems like it can only be a positive step.
Sorry, I had the audio going too loud. I was trying to play the...
Yeah, it's not terrible. Like, I played the beta for Vigor on the Switch, and it's okay. It's very much like a lot of other Switch games. It has the drawbacks, with the graphical drawbacks that a lot of kind of ported Switch games have, like horrendous draw distance, horrendous anti-aliasing, like kind of most of the effects are terrible. Obviously, resolution's really low, but they've actually got a game that runs incredibly well, surprising, I think, with Vigor. And also, the graphics have improved significantly between the beta version and the Founders Edition that's just been released.
Is there
Yeah, I
anything
think
like it on the Switch?
Nope, not really. There's not much out there that's too close to Vigor. It's kind of like a diet Tarkov, isn't it? It's basically you join a session, you loot, and you leave. It's it's okay. I've played it on the Xbox, and like I said, I've played a bit on the Switch, but it's not really for me. But I think it's definitely a positive thing that they've got one of their products on the Switch. So yeah, it's good.
Okay. I know that the haters will say this is the death of Bohemia because they're now focusing more on console, but they're a business. They've got to make money.
It's not like Armour's not going to be there providing joy ever. They're still going to release Armour games.
Mobby's saying the game's laggy as fuck. Have you played it, Mobby? Please don't put DayZ on the Switch. That's the last thing we need. DayZ is coming out on Sega Mega Drive too.
I want to see if I can get it on my old Game Boy Advance that I've still got somewhere.
Yeah. I've still got a Game Boy sitting around, and Pokemon Gold or Pokemon Yellow.
Oh, Pokemon Red and Crystal. They were the two best Pokemon games, and I don't care what anyone says.
I actually preferred Red as well, because I'm a Charizard sort of guy.
Just don't type that in on Urban Dictionary, for God's sake.
Okay, I won't. This was a tweet by Rab Plays that I misunderstood at first, but I'll try to get the video up. Oh, there we go. Take it back to the beginning. So this is a good little mod. Once it loads, gotta love Aussie internet. But basically, when you've got those lovely chunks of meat on you all the time, and half of them are small percentages and that, you can now combine them to make one larger piece of meat. Initially, when I watched it, because I watched it on my iPad, I didn't see the. I thought it was combining them into a stack, and I was like, oh no, that's not the greatest. But then when I understood it was just combining them, like you would do with matches or medication or something like that, I was like, fuck yeah, that's a brilliant mod. And he retweeted it saying this should be on vanilla, and I've got to agree. And now,
yeah, I mean that's a pretty cool mod. If you can combine a couple of different bits of meat to make one decent amount of it. I think that's actually, you get every now and then you get a mod comes out like this, and I can't help but think, why the fuck did we not have that in the first place? Why is that already not a thing?
Yeah.
It seems like such a common sense thing that should have always been there, and yet it seems like every couple of months a new mod comes out, and it just blows my mind.
You gonna add this to expansion, Jacob?
Yeah, we could. Wouldn't be that hard, I don't think. Yeah.
Just one of those good quality of life things. Not having an inventory full of duplicates of the same thing that could be and should be combined into one larger portion.
Anyways, touching on like the why can't the devs do it? They only have like a small dev team. Yeah. So it's just about
Prioritizing.
Yes, that.
Use words, Jacob. Remember.
Nah. I can't word good.
Okay, this last topic. I was going to save it for the end of the podcast, but I thought, no, let's finish on a positive, not a negative. I was just looking around Twitter and DayZ and that, and I typed in I hate DayZ just to see what would pop up, and there was the usual swath of videos that said I hate DayZ because of this, I hate DayZ because of that. And then there was this link to an article. I'm going to bring it up on the stream. And it made me think back to when I interviewed Fubar Bundy. And one of the things that he missed the most was being able to talk to people when they're unconscious or dead. And then I read this story. Now, did any of you actually check this link out before?
Yes.
You did? Okay, so you're ready for it. If you haven't, brace yourselves. Being a lady and playing DayZ.
Oh, God.
Note, I wrote a follow-up to this article here, but trigger word rape. I have 172 hours logged in DayZ. I bought it in January after my partner suggested it as a game we played together. The first time we played was a weekend and we played for 13 hours straight. I've been hooked ever since. I mostly multiplayer games these days. I have a little over 200 hours in Left 4 Dead and almost 100 in Team Fortress. DayZ is unlike those in a lot of ways, but one in particular. Every time since I started playing, I log on and I wonder, is this the time? It hasn't happened yet. That was close. They didn't actually say it. I put in over 50 hours. Maybe I'm lucky. I put in over 100 hours. Maybe I'm being paranoid. I put in over 150 hours. I am one of those girls who see it everywhere. Things are actually okay. Today my streak ended and someone told me in-game VoIP that they wanted to rape me. DayZ is a survival horror game. It's a standalone game based on a mod of Arma 2 by the same name by Dean Hall. The mod enjoyed massive success, and since the alpha version, sorry, I'm just changing it so I can still see chat. Hey, Uncle Ray, how you doing, mate? Since the alpha version of the standalone was released in Steam Early Access in December, it has sold more than 1 million copies. Consistently topping the Steam charts. The player recorded videos are funny, and the community actively posts on Reddit and the DayZ forums, posting locations of loot spawns, pictures of the scenery, and locations of bandits, so other more well-geared players can hunt down those who ruthlessly hunt new spawns. DayZ is fascinating to me. I'm a relatively new gamer and never played the mod. You start at the new spawn with just your clothes and a flashlight. You immediately start to feel hungry and thirsty. More than likely, you spawn somewhere on the vast coast, either in a town or somewhere strung between. There is no map. If you've never played, you probably have absolutely no idea where you are. And there are zombies. You start running to find food, and when you do, it's probably in a can that you can't open without a screwdriver or a knife. You need water, and if you find a lake, you can drink, but then you realise it's probably contaminated, and then you're dead. And so you respawn back to where you were, or more often than not, somewhere kilometres and kilometres away. There are no vehicles. You can only run at a moderately decent pace. So this is an older article, back before vehicles were added and stuff like that. So you start again with nothing, and maybe this time someone shoots you for no real reason at all. They have a gun and they're bored and they're just a Bambi and newspawn, helpless as a baby deer. You fall off a ladder. My falling off ladder stories are hilarious and numerous. It's a story every player probably has, and if you're there's something you just shake your head at and laugh at, and you break your legs and a zombie catches you. You spawn too far away from anything, so to climb on top of a silo and jump off it, after ceremoniously taking off your clothes and casting them aside. You run into a dangerous city with your fists up and try to punch out guys with guns, so you get guns, and then you have guns until someone else kills you with their gun, and then they get your gun and you start all over again. So she really understands DayZ. She really understands the mechanics of the game. It sounds boring. One of the tags on Steam is Running Simulator, and I look at that tag with affection because it's true. You run far more than you do anything else. You do nothing for an hour and then have 3 minutes of intense gameplay and then do it all over again. And yet I find DayZ endlessly interesting. The voice chat is positional, meaning you only hear other players who are in your immediate vicinity. Guns are king. You have extremely limited resources spread across the wide world. There are very few zombies right now, and if you're uninjured, you can usually outrun them. The main threat to players right now is players. Eventually, I imagine the game will have a more PvE feel, but as it is now, with nothing to do and no immediate zombie risk, it feels more PvP. It doesn't seem like my type of game, but it is, because of the way the players interact with the limited resources and other players. You could choose to be a bandit, get some guns, hide on hills and snipe other players. You can be a hero, hunt down those who are hunting unarmed others. There are videos of brave firefighters and scary cults. I've tried to play a medic, loading my character with medical supplies and dressing in red. I've been a bandit, yes I have, and if you played you have too, don't lie. And shot people because I could. Most of the time I'm nobody and just run around looking for supplies and people until I get killed. DayZ appeals to me because of the human interaction, because you'd be good or bad or nothing. You are forced to communicate with others. People sing. When I'm unarmed and have nothing, I take off my pants and run into the middle of cities making whale noises, hoping that nobody will shoot me and might think I'm funny. I've been kidnapped, taken to church and forced to read from a Bible. I wiggle at people. I always say hello to Steve the floor zombie. I wave towards Sniper Hill, run straight to school gun spawn in Cherno when I get there, and shed my pants on top of the silo in Solnichny when I spawn there and I'm too lazy to run south. It can be an extremely rich world. You get what you put into the game. For the most part, I've only had positive player interactions in DayZ. Some people are jerks, and I try not to get worked up about people killing me when I'm in new spawn, but I've done it to others. I sound feminine, so I get a lot of, hey, are you a girl or 12-year-old boy? Probably north of 24 times. I've gotten some of the novelty girl gamer jokes, but for the most part, people really don't care that I'm a girl. They're mostly interested in not starving to death or punching me in the face to steal my supplies. Yet every time I log in, I still think, is today the day when someone tells me I'm going to get raped? Today that happened. I was a new spawn. I had just gotten killed near the Balota airfield, like I have countless times. I recklessly ran into the jail while my friends told me not to, and of course there was somebody there. I said hello, got the are you a girl or a 12-year-old boy joke, and then I got shot. I respawned west of Kamishovo and started running towards Electro when two gear guys with guns told me to stop running. I stopped, put my hands up and said hello. They told me to take off my clothes. I didn't really think of it, anything of it. It's happened so often that I don't even think it's weird anymore. I wiggled at them in my decidedly unsexy underpants, White Star underwear, which looks surprisingly American and patriotic considering the game is made by a guy from New Zealand and set in an area of Russia, and a white, blue and pink striped t-shirt. I always choose a female model character. This character's hair is cut short in a tight bun. It's a pretty unsexy model. Honestly, there's no frill. I took off my clothes and one of them made a comment about how I was a girl. One of them said he hadn't gotten pussy since the end of the world. He was pointing a gun at my face. I made a disgusted noise over my mic and started to back up and said his friend wasn't sure if they should kill me or not. I called him a sick puppy. He said that unfortunately for me, he was into necrophilia and that he wanted to rape my dead body, and then he shot me. When you die or become unconscious in DayZ, you see nothing but a black screen with the words "you are dead" or "you are unconscious." You don't see who kills you. You can still hear what the people around you are saying or doing, so you can still hear if they're rummaging through your supplies or taking your clothes off your corpse. The guys who shot me made moaning and groaning noises. You can still talk and chat, so I tried to yell at them, but they were louder. I gave up and was too rattled to respawn, so I just logged off and left my desk. I didn't play again that night. The appeal of DayZ is the freedom to do what you want. There are no rules. There are no penalties for shooting unarmed people or killing yourself. There are no quests, no storylines, and for the most part, no direction. You spawn in with nothing, and then you immediately start the process of dying. When you do die, it's quick and simple. You don't see the name of the player who killed you. On most servers, you can now, but sometimes you don't know where the shot came, where they shot you from or why. It's a stunningly realistic world without any in-game repercussions for anything you do wrong. Since first playing, I wondered and still wonder how far they will push the boundaries of what you can do to other players. Right now, you can handcuff people, put a bag over their head and feed them rotten food. You can even break someone's legs so they can't run. You can be extremely cruel to someone by holding them with broken legs and not let them die and respawn. You just can't respawn in DayZ. You have one character and you have to die to get a new one. Someone recently remarked to me how cool it would be to tape someone's mouth shut and kidnap them and then torture them with the seemingly useless pliers that are everywhere in the game right now. To see the seemingly useless hammers to break the legs slowly. You kill them slowly in a way that would be considered sick and painful in real life. The very idea of that makes me sick. And I think it tells me a lot about gender and power. Taping someone's mouth shut scares me, and I bet it scares a lot of other women the same way, because we live with the threat of rape more than men, and because that imagery has been an image we've all probably thought about. It was a surprise to me that the person making this remark to me didn't see it that way at first, when it was so nauseating to me. I don't want to give the impression that he's a bad person. He simply doesn't live with the imagery like I do. The power to hold someone against their will, to hold them so they can't escape, no matter how hard they try, and then to threaten them with the gruesome things that happen to me, to us, or we imagine can happen to us if someone was just determined. The idea came into my head immediately. Would I feel this way if I was a guy? I don't know, but I probably wouldn't have gotten that rape comment either. I know very few women who play the game, and in trawling through the web, I haven't found many either. In my hundreds of hours of playing, I've met less than a handful of declared women players. I'm sure I've been killed and encountered other women who don't use the VoIP. The forum post I started on Reddit was downvoted more than it was upvoted, and I found 2 posts about the game on the official DayZ forums, one about the mod and one about the standalone. Most of the replies echoed my own experience that the player had either encountered few women or they hadn't met any, along with the assortment of why are you even asking this question, and of course women play this game, you aren't special. Why did this experience in DayZ scare me so much? On the surface, I feel that it looked shallow. I was told I was going to get raped by a person I've never met, probably somewhere I've never been. I will more than likely never come into contact with that person in game again. I was a pixelated person in a computer generated world. I've been told that in other online games. My skin is thick enough to normally weather these types of things. I don't get it enough where it normally makes me feel unsafe, and I don't fear that people who play Skyrim are going to think that dragons exist, and I don't fear that kids who play Mario are going to jump onto turtles, and I don't fear that killing people in Battlefield is going to make me want to kill people in real life. Although I do think military shooters glorify military culture, which is an entirely different topic. But DayZ scared me. Its players had the capability to hurt other players in real time. What happens when you lose to a dragon in Skyrim? What happens when you fall off a ledge in Mario? What happens when you get shot in Battlefield? You just die. You lose all your stuff maybe, and you start back sometimes hours later from your last save point, but it's quick, you respawn and you go on your way. In DayZ, you can make characters suffer. You can kidnap, you can torture, you can make it a long death. You can make it an even longer awful existence. Will I play DayZ again? Yes. I think it's far too interesting to give up. For this one incident, I have far too many other shining moments of human decency and kindness. I think it's a tremendous insight into human psyche, and the fact that it looks beautiful on a computer doesn't hurt. Furthermore, I don't want to stop playing, and I don't want others to either. I don't want to take experiences away from anyone. It's not my right to tell someone what they cannot create. It's not my content, or not my right to tell anyone what to do with their own character in a game online. I do think it's worth it, however, to examine why DayZ appeals to such massive amounts of people, being a top seller on Steam since the day it was released, and when to draw the line of what players are allowed to do to other players in game. I don't know if DayZ will ever give you the official way to torture somebody. I don't think it will. That doesn't mean some other game won't though. I have wondered from day one when I would get this comment, and I have now. Will I still wonder if I'm going to get this comment when I meet new people? That's a yes too. DayZ is about choices and your reaction to those choices you make. You feed your friend some rotten fruit, you laugh. You shoot someone in the head who was running away, you laugh. You make people take off their pants and do funny dances for you, you laugh. You find a newsborn with a feminine voice, you tell them to take off their clothes, you tell them it's the end of the world and you haven't got laid since then and you're going to rape them, and you can still say you're into necrophilia, and you shoot them and start making moaning noises while they can still hear you. You laugh. When do you stop laughing? Pretty full-on fucking story. What did you guys think of her perspective? It's hard for all of us because we're blokes.
I was just thinking that as it happens, it's a bit difficult to when we sit here and talk about it when we all don't have that same experience. I mean, I think we've all been told in various ways, various things that we would not like to actually happen while playing DayZ, but you know, we're not in the same boat as she is. So I think, like you say, it is a bit difficult to kind of break it down, but I think at the same time, she brings up a very good point within that story of, you know, DayZ is kind of an interesting insight into the psyche of man. And when I say man, I don't mean man as in male gender. I mean man as in the human race.
Yes.
You know, I've always had like a sort of a weird, what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of like a thought that maybe there's a chance, a conspiracy theory, if you like, that DayZ was created to see what it would actually be like, you know, when we get to the end of the world. You know, and it is a shame that people do take it to that extent and to that degree, because I think it is very unnecessary to go to that point. But at the same time, in the realm of role playing and what have you, I think when you've got a community server and you can kind of police it a bit easier, it's different. But it's horrible. It's horrible to hear that someone's had such a shit experience, such a negative experience in a game that we all love, you know, and they've had something like that happen.
I used to watch Kiwo
that
play a lot
have.
back in the day. She was a very funny content creator. And the amount of times she used to get people saying shit like that to her. But the main reason I wanted to bring this article up was I wonder how much this had to do with them turning off VoIP after you go uncon. Because...
I'd say not at all.
You reckon? Yeah. Because... Yeah, well, not just this, but I still don't understand why they did it. Because that was some of the funniest moments for me, was people shit-talking you and trashing you after you were uncon or you died in that 30 seconds while you were waiting to respawn, and they'd just come up and trash talk you and get your blood up or say something funny. You know, Bundy was famous for it, his bitch, that he used to say to people after he killed them. And now there's none of that. And I do wonder if, not just because of this specific story, but incidences like this, whether that's why they did turn it off. But yeah,
I don't think this influenced it in any way. I mean, it's horrible that that's been said to that person, like, but really, I disagree with some of it. Like it was said that, you know, playing in other games you wouldn't get that said to you. I've heard that said in loads of games.
Yeah,
tons. I've heard worse things said in Fortnite by
Modern Warfare lobbies,
10-year-olds and 15-year-olds, and yeah, exactly. Yeah, the game's got the torture bit in it and the kidnap sort of element, but again, like, that can happen in loads of games. I mean, Ark used to take prisoners in that all the time, and you know, so yeah, it's horrible that's been said to her, but I don't sort of think DayZ really has any, you know, more. I don't think DayZ causes that to happen any more than any other game. It's just being females in general get that in all games is what I'm saying. It's not. I'm not saying it's acceptable, but they get it in all games. DayZ, I don't think really creates many more opportunities for it than any other game, to be honest.
I'm going to say not just games. I'm going to say on the internet as a whole. It's not just a gaming thing, is it, Jacob?
No, I wouldn't say it. And just bring up like that thing. It didn't affect DayZ because look at it. There's no global chat. You don't spawn in with a radio. These are all like decisions made. So
yep,
they're all made decisions in the aim of gameplay and realism. So when you're dead, you're not going to hear people speak around you, and that's probably why they did it as well.
Yeah,
it's nothing to do like with this article or stuff like this.
I think for me as well, there's that kind of dissonance between cause and effect now. Like if you gave somebody abuse in the street, they'd punch you in the face.
Yeah.
But like I think on social media, people, because they perceive that there's no consequence to what they say, which is obviously not true because they're affecting people by what they say. But whether it's on social media or in a game, I don't think the game's at fault. I think people are at fault, and I think people, for some reason, think that they're untouchable because it's done over cyberspace. Yeah, if this was done in real life, you know, they'd be punched or they'd go to jail or whatever. Like, you see some of the horrendous things said in arguments on social media, like threats to kill and to rape, when really the argument is minuscule. It's a very minor debate, and you get these things said, and I think people have just forgot that actions have consequences even if you can't see them because it's through a screen.
I'm just trying to find it. I know there was a video that Vanguard did back many years ago. I don't know whether I'm going to find it, but he was on a server and he came across a girl and she was quite distraught, and she basically had something like that happen to her on one of these local servers here in Australia, and he it just kind of touched him at the time, and he ended up finding out from what they looked like and going and hunting down all of these guys and killing them, just to made him feel better. Like, as much as it's just pixels in a video game, he felt better for having done it. I don't know whether he's still got the video up on his channel, but yeah, it was fucking good to see. I just can't find it. No, I can't find it. But yeah, it was good to see that a bunch of guys who, as you said, the dissidents with reality and being online and saying whatever you want and having no consequences. Well, all these guys were on the coast, geared to fuck, and then they ended up on the coast with nothing but a rag and a fucking whatever you used to spawn with back in the day.
One rag and a dream.
Max saying, though, how many other games allow you to feed on other players you kill? I think DayZ went too far. I remember when they did that, I thought that was going to be bad myself. I thought it was really going to kill DayZ's ratings, the cannibalism aspect of it, that it was going to go too far for some of the governments of the world, that it allows you to kill and eat people in the game. What do you guys think of that?
Turns out it's weed.
Yeah, I think because it's not as graphic, I think it's not seen as much controversy as perhaps we would have expected, had they actually said, well, this is something we're going to implement, what do you guys think? Because obviously the human stake on the floor doesn't fucking look, there's not blood everywhere. Yeah. It's not a very visceral image. So I think because it's not so graphic and visceral, it's a bit easier to sort of say, it's not really that bad. But
I have had people say they don't like the sound of cutting up a body, but it's the same sound for bodies and animals, so it's nothing really there either. Although Chris is saying in chat, when you eat yourself.
Oh, I think we've all done that.
Uncle Ray, imagine eating people who does that. No one, Ray. Absolutely no one. No one at all, mate. I'm certain you've never done it. You're a good, clean Christian boy. Would Uncle Ray be the maddest person streaming at the moment? He's got some contenders. Young Ben Fruit does a good effort. Lax does a fucking good effort. But Sarah Moore's making a massive comeback. Sorry, Ben?
Ray gets my vote on the maddest.
Have you watched Sarah Moore?
No, I don't think so.
Go watch Sarah Moore. Go watch Sarah Moore. I would love to see Sarah Moore, Lax, and Uncle Ray, the three of them. I had four fingers then, but the three of them terrorize a server. That would be some fucking hilarious shit.
I'm usually laughing out loud before Ray's streams even started. The intro gets me. I'm already laughing. Then, it's become a standard thing in my Discord where his stream starts, I start watching it, and then I start laughing, and I have to. Oh, sorry, Ray's stream started, because I'm laughing out loud, and everybody else in the channel.
I've never caught the start of one of his streams. What did he do?
You need to watch it. He has a montage of loads of the mad shit that's happened to him in game, and I've got to say, he can't struggle for content because he just seems to attract all the maddest shit. Yeah. You know what I mean? And he's got a montage of all crazy shit that's happened, and it just cracks me up alone. There's a couple of scenes in it that every time I hear it, I laugh just as much as I did the day before. The one
that impresses me the most for his intro is Lax Hawthorne. the shit he comes up with, whether it be the songs or fucking walking through the streets of his local town, and he just, wow. Have you seen the start of his, Ben?
I've never caught at the start of his streams. No, I've tuned into Lax a few times. Like, he's a great streamer. But yeah, I've never caught at the start of it.
I'm loving the standard that some of the guys are taking streaming to. Like me, I press the go live button, and about the biggest thing I do is I did used to have it where the webcam didn't come on until I saw someone type something in chat, and then I'd turn it on, and that usually happened within a minute or so. But there are these guys now who are coming up with these fully fucking fledged proper intros. Like, I think Lax's goes for like 4 minutes or something like that before the camera finally comes onto him, and it's him sitting down at his desk getting ready to start streaming and says hello to everyone. But he has all of these little videos that he plays before the stream even starts. It's great seeing the professionalism coming across in the quality of what these people do with their streams. Like Ray with his padded cell looks fucking awesome.
Yeah, everybody's, especially in the last, I don't know, maybe it's to do with people having a lot more spare time because of the coronavirus, but yeah, production qualities of streams has definitely gone up a lot. Even when you go down, if you scroll down, sometimes I'll be on Twitch and I'll scroll down to the very bottom of DayZ categories, just tune into some of the people that have only got really low numbers. And you can go onto a really low number stream, and the production quality is top notch. Top notch.
No, it's great to see. It is really, really good to see so many people lifting the game, and so many new people just coming out from nowhere and blowing up in a supposedly dead game. So, yeah. So we sort of touched on to the next point, the community spotlight. Well, Uncle Ray's been a bit of a feature of the community spotlight. But Ben, I wanted to talk about your BWAF CCTV.
Okay, yeah.
So who did that for you? Or is that a trade secret?
No, it's not a trade secret at all. That was the man himself, Mr. Camino.
Let me just bring it up. Oh, for Christ's sakes.
Yeah, I did watch Chris FPS's video. I think he did, was it a 4.5 minute video a couple of days back of the showing off the CCTV and the remote detonation for breaching charges and things like that. And I thought that's definitely up there for some of the coolest stuff we've seen in a long time.
I'm just bringing it up now so you guys can see it. So you've got cameras. And you can see them on the walls there. And then you get a little laptop that you can view what the cameras are seeing. Is that how it works, Ben?
Yeah, that's exactly how it works, mate. Yeah, you can have up to 5 cameras, I think. And as long as the cameras are within your territory, they'll show up on the laptop, and you can flick between them. There's little buttons at the bottom there. Look.
So do they? Obviously, they look grainy like this, which is a nice little effect. But can they be destroyed by people? You can shoot them and destroy them.
Currently, no, because we've put quite a high value on them.
Yep.
Due to obviously, the base defense level it gives you, it's going to make raiding the place hard if somebody's able to see everything. So we've put a really high value on them, so I wouldn't want them to be able to be destroyed easily, but in the future, yeah, I probably will make it so that they can be destroyed by possibly by explosives, I'm thinking.
Okay.
Do they work off the territory system from expansion then?
They don't rely on the territory system from expansion. The way I've got it, it's just because they're on my server, I know that obviously I know the radius of the territories that I've got set up on the server. I think the flag radius is 75, so we set the laptop radius to 75. So if you
right.
like,
So
yeah,
yeah, so as long as you're within 75 meters of your cameras with that laptop, you'll be able to view them. But you have to have that laptop within that 75-meter radius, essentially.
correct, yeah.
Oh, it's a pretty cool thing, to be fair. I think if you had asked me, do you ever see a CCTV mod come into DayZ, I'd have said no. There's no possible way that could be a thing. But I sit here corrected, definitely.
I just realised something. I've jumped ahead a topic. We forgot DayZ Twitter watch. Did they go too far with this tweet, people?
I don't think they went far enough.
No, I thought it was brilliant.
Oh, mate, I fucking wet myself laughing. I think it was just...
that was the name of the clip, wasn't it? The name of the clip that she had named, I assumed, is the hardest cock in DayZ. So simply sharing the clip, I don't think that they went far enough or went too far.
Yeah,
no,
it was. That was the name of it.
There you go. Yeah.
Little double entendre.
I think if they'd have made up that title, then it could have been construed as inappropriate. But because that was the name of the clip, then no,
Yeah.
not at all.
It's a factually accurate description as well, to be fair.
Yeah. Yeah.
That thing took a beating.
they spelled that out in the Twitter thing. I think someone put a link to the definition of the word cock. This video is so not getting monetized tonight.
Not even close.
DayZ account got hacked again. This notification had me doing a double take, not gonna lie. Are you okay, DayZ?
What Martin replied.
Get him.
Martin, yeah. I don't think Martin was too happy with it. But he's
Well,
not
he
there
hasn't been on
anymore.
the dev team for like 2 years.
Where's someone...
Getting away, he's getting away.
I said, hold up, wait a minute, something ain't right. People loved it.
Dude.
People loved it.
Yeah, it's needed this for a long time. It needs stuff like this.
But the reason it was quite funny is, I don't know whether you guys are aware, but we now have a temporary community manager. Jacob is no longer on the DayZ marketing community manager role, which is sad.
Yeah, I did see you put something in the in your Discord about that, didn't you? I think we put it in agenda the other day.
Yeah.
I think that is quite sad. I think it's weird how he's been in that role for such a short amount of time, but seems to have made such an impact. I can only hope that whoever gets that role full time in the future can kind of continue on a little bit with the precedent that he set. But at the same time, I think, and maybe this is looking a bit too into it, and this is something that Hellfire, the Hellfire show, said to me yesterday when I saw him and I mentioned about it, and he was saying where obviously Jacob has said he's moved on to another project.
Yeah.
Immediately you think Armour 4.
Yeah.
So it kind of at the same time, while it's kind of like, oh, it's sad to see Jacob go from that, you kind of think, well, actually though, if he's going on to, and again, this is purely speculation, but if he's going on to Armour 4, then that kind of gets you going a little bit as well, thinking, fucking hell, we could be seeing Armour 4 and some more information about it.
I think they loved what he was doing, and they
future.
went, we need you on our biggest project. So
yeah. And if that is the case, that's a fucking smart move by Bohemia.
Because he was brilliant. He's actually said that he still wants to come on the podcast to talk about his time with the DayZ community. And Scotty, the new guy, who did the hardest cock in DayZ tweet, seems to have said, you reckon Jacob did a good job? Here, hold my beer. But as long as they stay active.
But Scotty's not new. He's been there for like 2 years. A year.
No,
2019.
Scotty is taking over as a temporary manager until they find a new one. So he's just managing it until they find a new community manager. So I imagine if you check their website, they may or may not be advertising for one soon. I hope to God they do, because they only have to look at the response people were getting to the DayZ Twitter account to see that it was worth it. And I don't know what else he was doing. Twitter's my main source of keeping up to date with DayZ, but I imagine he was just as engaging on other posts elsewhere. Now you put a tweet in. Was it you, Brim, about the original War release? Or was that Val?
About which one now?
The original War release. One of you guys put a post in the agenda about the Bohemia Interactive original War, or was that someone else did that?
Ah, no, yes, yes. Yeah, that was me. Yeah, I
Yeah.
saw. I just saw it popped up as a. I think someone must have retweeted it. I don't know. It popped up on my feed on Twitter a couple of days back. In fact, yesterday. Sorry, yesterday evening for me. Yeah, it just seems like. I mean, I didn't even know this game existed. So, you know, I just thought it was quite interesting to see. I didn't know how many other people actually knew of this game and, you know, what it meant. I've got literally zero information on anything to do with that game. All I saw was that, I mean, it's showing there 2001, like a proper old game, and it seems like they've just released an update for it. You know, they've just released an update in 2020 for a game that came out in 2001.
Do any of you guys know anything about it?
And I think community developers, and they do have those there, because they've had community DLCs for Arma 3. But yeah, check out what I put in podcast agenda.
1 second.
The last link.
You sneaky cheeky sod. I was just looking at that myself.
Join our international family of Bohemians.
Yep, they have got a community manager for DayZ in Prague job open at the moment, specifically for DayZ.
Put that in chat. There we go.
There is definitely a level of temptation for me to go for that. I'd be shit at the job.
You'd have to live in Prague, though, wouldn't you?
Yeah, but I'm
Clearly mentions that.
Sorry, what was that?
myself and disappear. I've got no missus or kids, so I can just disappear at the drop of my hat if needs be.
Well, I don't do remote work.
I'm glad they are replacing it. And I hope to God they find someone. Lol, you need the biggest degree in marketing. Good at bullshit.
I'm there.
Excellent spoken and written English paired with communication skills. So, yeah, who knows? I know that eliminates nearly 99% of the DayZ fan base. The degree in marketing, communications, public relations, or equivalent experience. Oh, they say equivalent experience, so yeah. Who knows who they'll get? I just hope it's someone who can keep that vibe alive, because it was fucking awesome. He was only there for a short period. I'm not sure how long Jacob was at the helm, but he made a massive fucking impact. Massive fuck.
I think I remember seeing something just around about the time where we first came into knowing about Jacob's existence. He put a thing on, he replied to someone on Reddit, I think it was, that at the time he had only been working for Bohemia for about 2 weeks.
Yep.
So I don't know if he was taken on specifically for that job role and then did it so well they were like, fuck it, let's get you in for something else, and moved him over now. But I think he's only been, I think at this point, I think he's only been working for Bohemia since the beginning of the year, and he seems to have already done such a good job.
Well, I can't wait to get him on the podcast in any case. It'll be great to actually talk to him and find out why he chose to interact the way he did. But it was so refreshing to see, someone actually giving it back to people. So
It's almost like he caught lightning in a bottle.
Yes, he did. So, community spotlight, Jacob. What have you got for us?
Nothing.
You didn't watch a video or see a mod that you thought was pretty cool or anything?
I forgot this was a section, so I don't have anything on the top of my head.
Mention my video. I
I haven't watched it yet.
You can't. Yes, I dropped a C bomb, but it's already demonetized, so who gives a fuck? But the reason I say it is I used to put out what were they? What were the videos I'd put out or something like that? And Jacob would redo the thumbnails into funny ones. What were they again, Jacob? Was that posts on Twitter or something?
I have forgotten.
You've forgotten as well. But all I know is he just used to troll me by making these funny versions of my video thumbnails and shit like that. And I was like, you fucking cheeky bugger. It was good, though. It was good. What about you, Val? What have you got for us?
Surely we have to mention Marks, because last week we mentioned in the stream that it would be cool for him to do a video of how to report bugs in DayZ, and he
Yes.
came true on that. So
He did.
surely we have to give him a big thank you for that.
Yeah, it was a good video too, Marks. One of those ones that I know I tweeted it out. I'm certain some other people did as well. But just, yeah, a lot of people, when you look at that, the bug feedback system needs to be fixed. If they can do it something in-game, it'd be great, you know, at the menu or whatever. But to do that video just to show people, I think you could expand on it, mate. I think you could reach out to Bohemia and ask them to explain what each of the sections mean and what type of bugs should go where. And I really think you could do a bigger and more comprehensive version of that. But what you did, I think, has made a difference for a lot of people as well. Thank you. I was reporting bugs to Armour 3 feedback tracker instead of DayZ before.
That's probably true.
Oh, that's awesome. What about you, Ben? What have you got?
I've made the choice of Chris FPS this week, actually.
Yes?
He's been putting out a lot of good videos lately, and it's more about how much he's improving. Also, I've been liking his effort he's been putting into his thumbnails.
Yes.
I don't know if you've seen them on Twitter, I'm pretty sure you have.
I did, yeah. 6 to 8 hours for his latest one.
Yeah, so like the effort he's been putting in lately has been impressing me.
And it's paying off.
Also, something that I thought was really nice as well that happened last night. We was in Ray's stream, and Ray raided a guy. I can't think of his name off the top of my head. Sorry, but this guy was streaming DayZ. Funny enough, like I said before, he had a small amount of viewers, but his production quality was nice. But on his Twitch page, he had tabs that were completely different to like his logo. So it didn't really fit well. And Chris straight away just rattled off a set of new Twitch tabs for him to match his logo, which I thought was really nice. So yeah. Chris gets my shout this week.
That's pretty fucking boss thing to do, Chris. That is a really boss thing to do, mate.
Yeah, I've noticed over the last few months or so that Chris's video quality and, like you say, his thumbnail work seems to have gone. It's taken a massive leap forward in a positive way, which I think is good. He always had some pretty decent videos back in the day when I first discovered him way back when. But yeah, I mean, he's definitely stepped his game up somehow. So kudos to him for that, definitely.
See, I'm lazy when it comes to thumbnails, and it shows. That's why, from what I understand, thumbnails are very important, but it's one of the reasons why my videos do so terribly. But I really appreciate that, Chris. That touches back to the topic we talked about earlier. There's enough toxicity creeping into the community. It's good to see someone doing something for little guys out there, And Uncle Ray as well for rating a smaller streamer. I really like seeing the bigger guys, who've got 100 odd viewers, if not more, rating down than across or up. I will rarely, unless I see something special, I will rarely raid up. I'll always try to raid down or raid other people who I know are, slowly growing, like Sarah Moore. I've been raiding him a bit lately, and it's good to see his numbers going up. And but you should, one of the things that annoys me the most is when people don't raid at the end of the stream. I'm sorry, but it takes you a couple of minutes. You can even just jump in there and say, sorry, mate, I can't hang around. All the best. Hope you have a good stream, and jump off. It's the least you can do to help someone else in the community out.
I think it's one of the most organic ways of growing as well, isn't it?
Yes.
As a, growing your own stream. You're sort of, you're introducing yourself and your community to someone else and another community, and granted, whenever you raid someone, there's no expectation of them then raiding you at a later date as a way of saying thank you and giving back. That certainly shouldn't be a reason for you raiding someone, but I think it is a decent organic way of growing. Even if you get one person from that person's stream pops into one of yours one day and just says hello, even if they don't follow, even if they don't sub, nothing, they just pop in, say, saw you in the raid the other day, nice to meet you, and that's it. You're onto a winner.
If you don't raid, you're a dog cunt.
Spread that love.
If you don't raid, you're a dog cunt, in my eyes. And the silence was deafening. Brim, your community spotlight, mate. What was yours?
So I've got technically two, but it is by the same person. I've just put links to the videos in the chat there. It's actually Anarchy. He's put out two different videos. He put one out 23 hours ago and one out a week ago, and it's specifically around base building. Put one out a week ago, top hidden base locations on Chernarus, and then another one 23 hours ago, top base locations on DayZ 1.08. And I'm just a massive lover of sitting and building bases. I'm a bit of a lone wolf, quite enjoy just jumping on, getting the supplies, building a base. And some of the hidden ones he did from a week ago are really cool, and I wouldn't have thought of them, like under bridges and stuff, and almost impossible to find. And then he's put out then this one 23 hours ago with some really cool, like, base locations that they will be discovered no matter what you do. And it's just generally decent base related content. So I think it was worth including.
That's a smart move. That's a good idea for a video. I think there needs to be more on that by someone with a good following like he has, talking about base raiding, expansion mod raiding and stuff like that, and vanilla raiding, and just showing people what you can and can't do in the game.
Yeah, there are so many different things you can do with base raiding now, especially when you include the expansion. It's such a cool thing now. I mean, I've always loved base raiding, but it's sort of taken on another life now. So to see a decent video from someone with good production quality like Anarchy has put out a video it's almost like he made that video with me in mind, even though I can almost guarantee he doesn't have a fucking clue who I am. So I think it's just both really cool little videos.
I like it. I do. I don't think I saw this one pop up. I am subbed to him, but I'll have to check this one out, because I'm like yourself, mate. I love base building. I love dicking around, and at the moment there's a joke going between me and D-Hop. I'm D-Hop's base bitch. I keep his base nice and tidy. He's meant to be teaching me how to be a PvP guide, and he hasn't done fucking nothing yet. Yeah, I'm calling you out, D-Hop, you dog cunt. Start teaching me how to fucking PvP better, boy. Camino's saying I should get Anarchy on the podcast one day. I'd like to. Like I've said, I've thrown it out there. Sadly, I've upset a few too many people, I think, and some people are reluctant. But this is everyone's show, and anyone who wants to can just hit us up. We'll have anyone on. Look, we've got Ben on.
Hey, we need to talk about another Ashes event. That's what
we do need to do another Ashes event. For those of you who don't know, what year was that, mate? 2014?
2016?
2016, you reckon?
I think so.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
So back in 2016, I ran with some other guys a server here in Australia, and we became aware of BWAF. I can't even remember how we all met, but in particular, Ben's. Is he still your right hand man, Mick Ballistic?
Sadly, he doesn't play much DayZ these days, but he's a real life mate anyway. So yeah, he's not involved in DayZ much.
But
anymore.
Mick and I hit it off, and I got to meet Ben through Mick, and we were up late one night just talking shit, and the idea of I can't even remember, but it was the three guys who were in there was me, Mick, and Norrie. And we were just chatting, talking shit, because we ran Aussie Convicts Attack Force, and our server was linked to the Hive with BWAF, and it was fucking working great. Really worked well. BWAF was dominating back then, as they always do. Aussie Convicts was behind Pipsy here, but we were doing pretty well. And we came up with this idea of getting, was it 30 a side? I think it was 30 a side. 30 Poms and 30 Aussies, and having a best of 3 match. The first one did not go well because fucking Charlie said we should all take our pants off so we could easily identify each other. The thing was, though, the Poms were all wearing black and we were all wearing other colours. We didn't need to, but in the end, it got heated and we just said, fuck it, we'll take our pants off. Mate, we were like fucking Xylem sticks in the night. Even though it was in daytime at the Northwest Airfield. I think I was the first guy to die. We just stood out like fucking... The Poms must have been sitting there thinking, oh yeah, boy, we could see them like fucking candles in the night. And we just got massacred. We had commentators for it, people streaming it. And I still remember they were just like, what are the Australians doing? They're not wearing their pants. Oh, this is going to be a massacre. And it was a fucking massacre, mate. We got destroyed. Absolutely destroyed. We came back in game 2, which was at Pavlovo, and we won that. It came down to a pretty close ending, but the boys from Team Live Action got Shadow and his crew, saved the day for us. And then where was game 3 held, Ben?
You know what? I'm struggling to remember.
Was it Scalisti? No, I don't think it was Scalisti. We did that one with Pipsy.
No,
I can't remember either. But
I can't remember which the third one was in. No, I remember Pavlovo very well, based because I lasted all of 13 seconds in that event.
Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, game 3, the Poms won, and they won the first and only Ashes that we ever held. And I think last year I tried to bring up the idea of it, but there wasn't much interest on the Aussie end. I know Ben could easily get a team together, but I'm definitely keen to do it again. I did tweet out to a few other Aussie content creators, but none of them replied, so might just have to try and work something out with Fubar, maybe with his server. Get a team of people together, get Pipsy as well, and yeah, it'd be good again. It's just a really big showcase, and it'd be great to see what you could do. Like you could make custom locations, Ben. You know, places that
it's like I messaged you about. There's the opportunities that we've got now thanks to the modding and everything else. I mean, like you remember, like you could sometimes there was 2 weeks or more worth of work going into getting an event together just to get the gear, all the matching gear and the dyeing the armbands and all that. Now you can do that in 5 minutes with an admin tool. We've got obviously got the options of different maps, custom locations, all kinds of stuff we could do. And if you remember as well, we did some where we had film crew. Remember? Again, they'd have the power of free cam and being able to, put player tags above. Do a really good production of it now, is what I'm saying.
Yes. And I think there'd be an audience for it. We'd bend the rules a bit again. We'd probably allow Kiwis into the Aussie team and let you guys have some EU guys as well, if you needed to. But yeah, I think it'd be a big successful event, and it'd be great to see something like that again, mate. So I think we definitely need to get the ball rolling on it and just get people registering. Get someone who's a good editor to do a video to promote it, and if they want to register, set up a fucking Google form or whatever, and people could register their interest and have a mix of both content creators and just your average Joe players as well. So it's not all locked away to the big names and that, but anyone can get in there and have a go.
Yeah, I mean, there's very few well-produced DayZ events nowadays. I mean, you see all the time, all new servers, like this is like a standard thing that I think now, that new servers that set up do a PvP of a melee event. Sorry, you know, it's like the standard thing. You see those happening all the time. You don't really see any super well-organized ones, apart from like, I think Spaggy still does some good events.
Run, Die, Retry,
Happy Bombs too. Just Happy Bombs.
Happy Bombs.
Yes,
True
yes,
Colours.
that was another name that's come up recently. Yeah, so I think aside those two, I can't think personally. I don't know of any other people doing events that are really, you know, well produced. So it'd be good to do something like that again, definitely.
And you've got the resources as well, mate, to be able to do those things. You know, like you said, you know, we talk to people like DeOne and Camino and Jacob and that, and see if we can't get a special mod made, like you said, to have the players. You know, something like what you see in the esports and that, for PUBG and, you know, events like that, where you can tell some basic information just looking at someone, what gun they're using, what their health is, and
that kind of stuff's already sort of available. But admin tools that you can do, you can put on the ESP function, and that shows you know, player name and health, stuff like that. You can find out.
It'd be good if you could have like a counter at the top showing how many people per side and crossing them off as they die, and, you know, for the people doing the official stream.
Yeah, you could do. There's loads of little things you could do really easily. That adds to the production value again. But yeah, it'd be good to do something like that again. Definitely a nice.
We should, mate.
Polished. We could put out a polished event.
Ooh,
It'll be a polished event.
Polished event, so we don't get hate videos made on it.
That's it. That's the one.
Gentlemen, thank you so much. Have you got anything else you'd like to talk about before we wind it all up?
Nope.
Camino's just said it'll be called a scripted event.
Yeah. Scripted ashes. Let's do it.
We need to make a meme out of that. Totally scripted. But no. Jacob, thank you so much once again, mate. It was good to get someone in from the expansion team. You guys copped a lot of hate. Some warranted, some unwarranted. But regardless of what some people say, mate, I think most of us are fucking in love with the expansion mod and what it's done. And we look forward to... There was a question there. Do we have a fix on when fall damage will be back in? I think you said you'd be looking at that tomorrow, maybe, if you get any time.
It depends, because it's got other things to do, and it's 2 a.m. now.
I was just about to say that. We've kept you up late, mate.
Yeah.
But no. Ben, thank you, mate. Thank you. I love having you around, whether it be on the stream or in chat with Vike and Brim and myself. And to everyone watching, thank you all so much. Brim, thank you, brother. I'm glad you're still here.
No worries.
I was worried we almost lost you.
Yeah, so am I. Less said about that, the fucking better, I think.
And Val, how are we with getting the webcam so we can see you? You're better looking than Brim and I, are you?
I imagine I'm not. No, I imagine you both totally overshadow me, Boydie. So yeah, I'll try and get something sorted for the next episode.
Awesome, buddy. No rush, mate. No rush. It's working okay as it is. But yeah, when you can, I think everyone would love to see the other third regular host of the show. But yeah, Jacob chickened out. He said his webcam doesn't work well and he doesn't want people seeing his midnight face either. Oh, I think
I'll try
Jacob...
and dig mine out.
Oh, you're going to quickly flick yours on, are you?
No, I'll try and dig, but I don't know where it is right now. I was decorating the other week, so I had to unwire everything for my PC. It was a nightmare.
Ben is a devilishly handsome man. He'll make you question your sexuality.
I won't argue with that.
Okay then, gentlemen. Thank you all so much. I'll see you all next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. All the best, everyone. Everyone say goodbye.
Take it easy, everyone. See you later.
See you later.
Yeah.
And ciao for now.